You're at a dinner party, surrounded by people nodding politely at every socially acceptable opinion, laughing at jokes that aren't funny, and agreeing with viewpoints they secretly despise. Everyone is performing their good person act so flawlessly that the room feels suffocating with artificial virtue. You watch as someone suppresses their genuine reaction to appear more likable, and suddenly you realize something terrifying. You're doing the exact same thing. When did being authentic become so dangerous that we'd rather live as hollow performances of ourselves than risk showing who we really are? This isn't just social anxiety. This is the modern epidemic of moral cowardice disguised as virtue. We become so obsessed with being perceived as good that we've forgotten how to be real. And here's the brutal truth that'll make you squirm. Your desperate need to be seen as a good person is making you weak, dishonest, and deeply unhappy. Friedrich Nietzsche saw this coming over a century ago. His concept of slave morality wasn't just a philosophical jab. It was a warning about the prison we build when we let others' definitions of goodness chain our souls. Stick with me, because we're about to unravel why you're hiding and how to break free. Let's start with the problem. Think about your last week. How many times did you bite your tongue when you disagreed? How often did you smile and nod when you wanted to scream? How many "I'm fine" S slipped out when you were anything but? If you're honest, the number's probably higher than you'd like. You've been taught that suppressing your truth makes you virtuous, but Nietzsche would call that cowardice. His idea of slave morality describes how we adopt values: humility, self-sacrifice, conformity. Not because they're true, but because they keep us safe in the herd. You're not being good, you're being tame. This isn't just about dinner parties. This moral cowardice creeps into every corner of your life. You stay in relationships that drain you because leaving seems selfish. You slog through a job that bores you because it's respectable. You bury your creative spark because it's not practical. Psychologically, this stems from our need for belonging. Our brains are wired to avoid rejection. But here's the paradox. The more you chase approval, the less you're seen. Carl Jung would say you're shoving your shadow, those raw, untamed parts of yourself, into a dark corner. That shadow doesn't disappear. It festers, leaking out as resentment, anxiety, or a life that feels like a stranger's. In the next part, we'll dive into Nietzsche's antidote, the will to power. It's not what you think. It's not about dominating others. It's about the courage to be who you're meant to be, no matter what the crowd says. Nietzsche's will to power is your inner fire, the drive to create a life that's yours, not a script handed to you by society. It's the voice that whispers, "You're more than this," when you're stuck in a role that doesn't fit. But embracing it means facing a terrifying truth. Being real might make you unpopular. People love the good version of you, the one who agrees, who doesn't challenge, who fits in. When you start speaking your truth, you'll disrupt that comfort. And that's where the courage comes in. Here's a real-life example. I knew someone who played the perfect friend, always available, always supportive, never saying no. Everyone loved them, but they were miserable, their own needs buried under a pile of yes. One day, they snapped. They told a friend, "I can't keep doing this. I need space for me." It was messy, hurt feelings, awkward silences, but it was also liberating. They started writing poetry again, a passion they'd abandoned to be good. That's the will to power, not destruction, but creation of a life that reflects your truth. Why is this so hard? Because authenticity is a risk. Jung's concept of individuation, integrating your shadow to become your true self, requires facing the parts of you you've hidden, your anger, your ambition, your weirdness. It's scary because it means standing alone, at least for a while. But the alternative is worse, a life where you're loved for a lie. Nietzsche would ask, are you here to be liked or to live? Let's get practical. How do you start being real in a world that rewards fakes? Begin small. Next time someone asks your opinion, give the honest one, not the safe one. If you're in a meeting and disagree, say so calmly but firmly. If a relationship feels one-sided, set a boundary. I need this to change. These acts are like weights in a gym. They build your courage muscle. And yes, you'll face pushback. People might call you difficult, selfish, or worse. Nietzsche would grin and say, "Good. You're not here to be their mirror. Here's a tool. When you feel the urge to people please, pause. Ask, what do I really want here? What's the cost of staying silent? Write it down if you have to. Name the fear. Name the desire. This is your first step toward breaking free. Jung would say you're starting to integrate your shadow, letting your true self breathe. It's not about being cruel. It's about being honest. And here's the surprise. Real authenticity often leads to deeper compassion because you're connecting from truth, not manipulation. What happens if you don't do this? You'll wake up one day, maybe in your 40s or 60s, wondering who you are. I've seen it. People crushed by regret for living someone else's life. They stayed good and lost themselves. But here's the flip side. Your courage to be real is contagious. When you speak your truth, you give others permission to do the same. That friend who's always fine, they might open up. That colleague too scared to shine, they might take a risk. Your authenticity isn't just for you. It's a spark that lights up the world. Let's talk about the bigger picture. Nietzsche believed that society's obsession with goodness stifles greatness. When you conform, you rob the world of your unique gifts, your ideas, your passion, your weird, beautiful quirks. The will to power is about contributing your fire, not dimming to fit in. Imagine a world where everyone dared to be real. What would that look like? More honest conversations, braver ideas, deeper connections. Your choice to be authentic isn't just personal. It's a rebellion against a world that wants you small. So, here's your moment. Stop waiting for permission. Nietzsche didn't believe in perfect timing. He believed in creating your own meaning, your own now. Pick one place where you're playing good instead of real. Maybe it's a conversation you've avoided, a dream you've shelved, a truth you've buried. Take one step today. Say no to something that doesn't serve you. Share an honest thought. Write it down. Today, I choose to be real by fill in the blank. Say it out loud. Feel the weight of it. This is your awakening. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about shedding everything that isn't you. It's about choosing the discomfort truth over the agony of a lie. Nietzsche would tell you, the world doesn't need another good person. It needs you, flawed, fierce, alive. What will you choose? The prison of approval or the freedom of authenticity? Here's your challenge. Look at your life. Where are you hiding? What's one step you can take to be real? Maybe it's telling a partner, this isn't working for me. Maybe it's pitching that idea you've been sitting on. Maybe it's admitting you're not okay. Whatever it is, do it. Not tomorrow, now. Because every moment you spend performing is a moment you're not living. And here's the deeper reflection. Who are you when no one's watching? That's the person the world needs. Not the polished version, not the good version, but the real, messy, powerful you. Embracing that person means risking rejection, but also means gaining something priceless. A life that's yours. Isn't that worth it? Write in the comments. I choose authenticity over approval. Share your step, your spark, your truth. Subscribe for more challenges to live boldly. And check out posts on breaking free from society scripts. This is your life. Stop performing. Start being.